Simon said 3354 said Chill Squad banner covers your workflow process of setting the scene at 6 minutes and 15 seconds. I can get lost in setting up one scene and never start building scene 2, 3, 4 if you can show that. Still, this process has helped with getting a creative flow going. You rock. Appreciate you. Let's get into it. Chill Squad, what it do? Welcome back to the channel. If you're not part of the Chill Squad, what are you doing? Today, we are going to go over how to arrange and start a song in Maschine in 2024. I did a video like this previously before, but as Simon said, pointed out, my banner was covering that. So this time around, we're going to show how you can do this without any covering of the banner. The only thing that you'll see me is the bottom right, and let's get started. So the first thing you're doing when starting a beat, you want to have a BPM in mind. I like starting somewhere around 80 and 90 BPM because that's usually my sweet spot. Of course, you can experiment, but for the sake of this video, we're going to be at around 85. After I choose my BPM, I like to choose my sample because when I choose my sample, it lets me know what types of drums to use for the time being. So I chose my sample and I'm going to go from sampler to audio. So we have it as an audio file now. So as you can see, this matches what it says is BPM of 80.28. We have it at 85. So this is going to be a fun cut. So with this, I can either do loops or one shots. For the sake of this sample, I'm going to do some loops, and I'm going to use some loops I don't normally use because those of you who listening know I like going to burrow chops. I'm going to do something a bit differently and have a little bit more fun. Got something here, and I'm going to go ahead and solo out the sound, go to sampling, and we are going to change this to 4 bars, and then we're going to move 1 arrow over and change our input to internal and select pad 2. What you're going to do is hit start at the top and then hit restart to go ahead and get your sample. Now I made a slight mistake, and I'm glad this happened while we were doing this. Earlier, I put on knock, and I turned down the high pass to get rid of the drum sounds off the sample, so I could hear how it will flow with the drums. But I forgot to actually shut this off because I don't want to make my sample cuts with any effects. I can always copy and paste the same effect the same way I did this onto another pattern into another group. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to delete this new cut, and we are going to mute knock, and then we're going to do this one more time. So from here, I'm gonna go to slice, and I'm gonna go up to grid because it's already chops up into 16 pads, which I'm usually okay with. I don't really have to mess with these. Sometimes you can go through manual and you can create your own chops if you really want to get advanced in your slicing. But if you're just going for something basic and quick, this will be the easiest thing you can do. Hit apply and hit group C, because if you've been following along, group B should be your drums. So hit group C, then hit OK. Now you have 16 different cuts that you can use. So now, as we made a mistake earlier, go back to group A, you're gonna hit copy, go to group C, and you should be in group. Make sure you're in group, hit paste, and now unmute it, and you should have the same effect. Well, mute group A first. And boom. So now we have the same effect we had, just in a different group. This way, that saves you a whole lot of time. And now we're gonna do the same thing with our drums. So go back to group B, solo out group B, go to sampling, and hit pattern 2, hit start, and go. With group B, because there's nothing really that I'm gonna probably do different pattern wise, we could actually hit apply, and then we can hit group B and copy over this entire pattern. And now everything in group B from those drums became 16 slices. Sometimes you can do this if you want to save on your groups and you don't want to, overload your groups with pointless groups. This, condenses your space. So now groups B and C will be your go-tos when you're about to arrange this song. And already we can start arranging this. So you're going to go to scene 1. And you're going to hit right click and you're going to hit append to song, and then you're going to hit control 2 and you're already in song mode. So you go already hit the loop, and right here you have your scenes, right? So we can go to pattern, hit group A, and make sure you are under pattern, maybe under clip view, and just tap group A so you can just get rid of that. So this way you don't have to worry about that. We're not going to get rid of group A entirely, because we may in the future want to take from that cut again, maybe in another pitch, and make a brand new pattern. You always want to leave room for that. So do not get rid of group A. Keep that as long as you can. So let's go to group B and group C, right? We want to create more scenes, as Simon has said earlier, right? So you're going to go over the scene, and the first thing you're going to do just to go to scene 2, 3, and 4 is just hit duplicate. Now, let's just say these two are, you want to have in your mind this, if you want to have in your mind, this is your intro, and you want to have in your mind, these are your hooks, 4 bars each, and then you want to have right here, duplicate again, these could be your verses, right? If this is your intro, these are your drums, right? You can go to pattern, get rid of your drums, and if you stretch this over, you'll see that it's going to play just like that. Obviously, you can't make a song just by duplicating the same thing over and over again. So we hit control 1 and go back, and we're going to start with group C, and we're going to change this up a bit. If we want to make a different pattern for the intro, since you're still in pattern, hit duplicate. I say duplicate because it's a lot faster than saying new, starting all the way from scratch, and you don't have any idea where you want to go. If you have a place in mind, let's just say pattern. If you know how you want to just play around with it, then you create new there. But for those of you who are just starting out and you want something easy and something that you can follow along, this will probably be the best thing you can do. So the hook pattern is not really sounding the best. The melody could use some work, but usually what makes the melody come together is how your drums sound. So this is why we chopped up the drums. Even though we did it in a loop, we chopped it up so we could still imitate the feeling of one shots in a way. As we're working on the melody of the hook, we're gonna work on our drums at the same time. This way we can imitate a feel that people could relate to. You always want to think about your hook, even if it's an instrumental, you want to think about your hook as something people can hum and sing along to. Even if there's no words, you want to create a feeling where people can still get involved with your music, even if there's nothing being said. So let's keep going. We got to do something for the regular verses too. So we're going to duplicate our pattern again. And we're going to keep in mind that the pattern is going to sound similar to the intro, but not exactly. So let's keep going. So I'm going to make a few variations. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to let the end of the 4th bar drop right here for 1. And then I'm gonna make another duplicate, and I'm going to make one that leads in kind of like how the intro did. So I have enough. We're gonna just see what we can do to piece this together as a scene. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just changing the patterns for each one, and we're just gonna see, you know, how this all sounds towards the end. This is just basic line. This is just how I would start and arrange a song. What I would do after this is I would create like a new pattern, like pattern D. And this is where I'll start making my own custom bass line. Pattern E would be bass where I'll have my rolls and my fills and things of that nature. So in pattern E, right around here, right before the 5th bar starts, I will put in a drum roll or a drum fill, in a sense, where we could actually roll into the beat. And I would actually put some effects on the melody to kind of give it more of its own feeling. So these are other things that I would do. And I would, for pattern F, I would add my own chords or keys to go along with this, just to add more to it. But this is just the basic starter on how you can literally get started and get a flow for your beats. So with that said, let me know if there's any other questions you have, Simon, or anyone else. If you have any other questions about this process, hopefully this could be seen. We could do a lot with this. As you can see, we kept this simple in a 4x4 time signature. It's 1 out of 16 BPM sync. So this is something that I believe that could be extremely helpful for you all. If you all have found value in this, hit that subscribe button for more updates as we upload every Thursday. As you can see, we're going to do more shorts. We're going to do more content. Let me know all your questions in the chat. I will do my best to answer them. And we do have a video on sampling. This was one, but we do have a video on sampling. If you need a video on how to sample, it's probably one of my favorite tutorials to look at. Check out the video right here. This will get you started on sampling. It'll take you further than what this video did. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.